what kind of qualities you look in them to become a fund manager or an analyst in a responsible position like managing public money?
Of course, it's a very involved process. So there are certain qualities we look for if you are hiring a fund manager. For example, we look at sometimes what happens is the analyst over a period of time. If the analysts turn out to be good and good enough, we elevate analysts as a fund manager. So that has also happened. For example, Hardik Bora was an analyst with us for many years before he became fund manager. That's different. But otherwise, if you are hiring a fund manager from the market, the first and foremost thing for us is we look at whether this person is process driven, right? So I told you the whole process in which we analyze stocks and how we select stocks, etc. There are some fund managers who are complete, sometimes I would say mavens, right? They have intuition, they look at news and they do their own little bit of analysis and they think, oh, they can figure out what is good and what is not. They don't need, I have worked with a fund manager, kind of star fund manager, who actually doesn't believe in analysts. He says, fire all your analysts. He says, no need of analysts, right? That to us is a very risky proposition, right? It may be good, it may work for other people, we don't do that. So we need somebody who is process driven. See, I'll tell you again the advantage of process. We cannot guarantee what will be the returns in future. Nobody can guarantee. We cannot promise whether our funds will be number 1 or number 10 or number 20. That depends on how other people also perform, right? It's like a race. We look at what is in our control. And that is the only thing we can influence. I cannot influence, how HDFC manages their funds. That is their headache. So we look at how we select stocks. I explained to you how we select stocks. How we create a portfolio, right? How we manage the risk. And this is something that people don't really talk about much. Most of you, how many of you have asked Aravind, what is the risk in a particular fund? Most of us are really worried about the return part of it, right? Risk is equally important or more important. Am I allowed to tell a story?
Absolutely, please.
It's my favorite story. I would have told 20 times in different forums, but it's from my textbook. In primary school. So I studied in a Malayalam medium village school in Kerala. So this story sometimes again I was reading somewhere that all the formula that you have read in learned in school or college you would forget. You would remember the stories, right? I remember many stories, and this is one of the stories. So there were, two guys, and this guy, let's say, Ramu and Shamu, for simplicity. So this Ramu goes to Shamu and says that, Shamu, there is a function in my house. I need one of your, this bartans. I'm running short. So Shamu gives it to him. He takes it. After a few days, he returns it with a small bartan along with it. So Shamu asked, boss, I gave you only one. Why are you giving this small one with it? So Ramu said, oh, see, your big bartan, it was a very good one. It actually delivered a baby while it was with me. No, since it is the bartan is yours, the baby is also yours. I have to give it to you. So Shamu thought this guy is an outright fool. But anyway, let me take it, freebie. Let's get it. So after a couple of months, Ramu again said, now there's another function. Can I borrow the same thing? He gave it happily. This time the bartan didn't come back. Okay, so after a few days, Shamu went and asked him, boss, what happened to this? He said, oh, I'm so sorry. It died. Naturally, you can imagine the conversation. How can it die? See, whatever can deliver a baby can also die. In mutual fund, if you don't remember anything else, please remember this story. When everybody is giving 10%, somebody gives you 20%, please ask the question, how is this person generating the 20%? Everybody was giving 8%, one fund was giving 15%, nobody asked why. And we know what happened. Ask the question, where is it coming from? When you say process, again, I'll tell you another story. I hope we are okay
yes,
for
yes,
time.
we are good with time.
So, there was, again, old days, so there was a guy who wanted to give his daughter in marriage. So, old days, so he had a challenge. He said, there is a big log of wood. Whoever can cut it into two pieces with one blow, my daughter is, that person. Obviously, this fellow was rich and daughter was very beautiful, as in all stories, fine. So many people came, very fit, strong guys, tried, nobody could do it. So finally, one young guy, not very big looking or anything, he came. So people thought, what is this guy going to try? So he took the axe. First, he checked whether any part of it was loose. He tightened. He sharpened the axe. Okay. He turned the log into a position which was the best possible, to cut. He took a position before striking the blow very carefully, which would have given him the maximum force. He lifted the axe. So then the father said, don't worry, I like it. The daughter is yours. He knew that nobody could split into two in one shot. But the point is, who had the best chance of doing it? And that is process. We don't know whether our funds will be number one or not. But what we are trying to do is, through the process, can we give you consistent above average return? If somebody can give you consistent above average return, I'm telling you, just be happy. That itself is a very difficult thing to do. All this excessive 20% per annum, 30% per annum, not sustainable, not going to happen. I can tell you. If somebody can give you over 5 years, 12% per annum, be very happy. That's among the best you can get. So the process is that. That is why we look at the process.
Fantastic.
So in fund managers, that process orientation is important. Second, of course, they have to be intelligent. They have to be qualified. They should be good with numbers. Right? There's a lot of number crunching involved. Integrity is very important. Right? While we may think it's a given that you are supposed to have integrity in our industry, generally in life, we know that that's not all that common. So reputation, integrity, all that is important. These are some of the things that we look at.